Like that? Sweet. I'm a photographer too. You gotta check me out, okay? I'm shotsgirl.com. So, yeah. Google me.
Hey guys, it's Wolverine. So listen, there's some new updates coming, so I thought I'd just throw them on video instead of typing them because you know I hate typing and texting. It's just ridiculous. Number one, we're going to show you a little bit about f-stops today. Now it's a sneak peek because I've told you that we're going to put all our tutorials on our Facebook group, which is going to be the Digital Matrix. So if you haven't signed up, go ahead and do it. You don't have to be a photographer, just basically an enthusiast who just enjoys the craft. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to take 3 pictures of my wife. It's going to show a 1.2 f-stop or aperture. What this does is blurs the background, and this is what everybody looks for, right? It's called the bokeh technique, but I like to call it, sometimes people look at it as a, some are bokehaholic because they end up just shooting everything in 1.2. And it's okay, but the idea is to give the blurred effect on the background, not necessarily the ears and the hair. And that's what happens when you shoot at 1.2. You'll see the nose focused, but then as you go to the cheeks, into the ear, into the back of the hair, it becomes unfocused. So unless your subject has a very flat face, which some people do, that's probably not the technique you want to use. Personally, I like to shoot in 2.5 kind of f-stop when I do a photo shoot, because it still offers that background that's blurry, but also captures the subject all focused. So this particular picture is 1.2. Let's zoom in on her face and show her ears and her hairline. As you can see, they're still a little blurred. So background is blurred, great. Can't really see what's behind there, but let's take a look at the second shot. The second shot shows a higher f-stop, which is going to be your 2.5. Look at the difference. Now her face and her hair and her ears are all in focus, but plus still offering that bokeh technique in the back. Now, if you want to take a picture of a subject that also shows the background is just as important, like this particular picture, then we go ahead and use an f11. An f11 does still offer a nice crisp looking photograph, like as you can see, but you can see the background because the background is just as important in this particular picture as the subject. Don't you agree? Now, let's move on to the next subject. I see, photographers and they have courses, tutorials, but what they do is they show their class, oh, this is the shot, and blah, 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 and they all take the picture using what the photographer or the instructor's methods are, but they're not enabling their class or their audience to find that shot. And that's important. It goes on to my next category, which I just can't stand these kinds of people. And I'll say it out loud because guess what? It's my freedom of speech. Are these keyboard commandos. Keyboard commandos basically will either go on Facebook or any social media site and judge your work. Photography is subjective, meaning that it's really up to the photographer's eyes to decide what is artistic. In this video, it shows a little bit about how maybe you as a photographer or novice or just trying this field, you feel like you're going out there and taking a shot and you think it's great. And then all of a sudden you have, Dumb and Dumber that stand next to you and judge your work before you're even remotely looking at it yourself. Let's take a look.
Hey, that's a pretty good shot.
Oh, I want to see. What'd you get? That's
That
really
using
good.
The rule of thirds, maybe?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Keep that in mind.
You could always crop it and post.
Yeah, and I might raise that f-stop a little bit, just get a little more.
Yeah, a little
in
more depth of
focus.
field.
Your shutter
Here,
speed might be a little slow.
hold your
for
arm
that
like that. There you
focal
go.
length. Yeah, and
Yeah.
roll your finger across that shutter button so you don't shake it while you're taking the picture. It can help reduce camera shake.
I don't want to be pushy, but we have a book.
Our book, Stunning Digital Photography, has over 12 hours of video in it.
If you want,
pretty good value.
I mean, if you want to improve, I'm not trying to make you be something you don't want to be here.
Doesn't that just chap your skin? I mean, it chaps my skin. But what I also like to teach is that it's all subjective. If I want to blow out the background like I did in this particular video to show you that I intentionally blew the background, then that's what I wanted to do. Nowadays, we are able to counter that through ND filters, which we're going to talk in a Digital Matrix. The last thing I want to talk about, or last two things, is the movie God's Gonna Cut You Down is well on its way. The 14th is when we do her rehearsal, and the 17th is the actual shoot. Finally, this Thursday, one of our clients has agreed for us to do a tutorial on how a photo shoot is performed at an actual studio. So we'll take you to the studio. Her name is Alyssa. She's a great model. And we're actually going to go through step by step and show you and post it on the Digital Matrix. So, like I said, if you haven't joined up, it's about just sharing pictures, sharing videos that you take. It doesn't have to be professional. It can just be something that you enjoy, something that you like. That's the key. If you want to be criticized, which I believe you should ask, because nobody's going to learn unless your other friends criticize you. The worst critic is my wife. She'll tell me straight out,
that picture sucks.
and you know what? I appreciate that, because then I learn. I look at it from her eyes. So that's what this group's about. If you want to learn, sign up for it. If you want to get critiqued professionally and respectfully, join it. If you just want to share a video that you took, like I did with my daughter going around a car several years ago in a GoPro and a stabilizer, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Share it, because that's what it's about. Photography, videography is just about sharing artistic sides that you have and not be criticized disrespectfully for it. So these are the kinds of things that our company is about. Hope you enjoy this post, and I'll see you soon. God bless.